Introduce yourself, sir.
Peter Beck, and I am the president of the foundation here at Northwest State Community College.
Peter, let's discuss a little bit about the role that the foundation plays. A lot of people know Northwest State, the things they do for the people who are walking the halls, the people they do for people who have been through the halls and moved back to their companies or moved on to other studies, whatever it is. What is the role that the foundation plays in assisting all of that to happen?
Well, we have a great team of over 30 volunteers that take the time, their time, to be able to raise funds that we can take and provide scholarships for this area, 4 or 5 county area.
And in the last year, correct me if I'm wrong, it was over $400,000 that was raised by the foundation that goes into the hands of these people who need it so badly.
Yes, it was like $407,000, and it actually gave just under 300 scholarships to students in this area that really can help contribute to our economic stability here in our region.
The thing that stands out that's different to me with the Northwest State Foundation is you and I walk the halls of Northwest State here frequently, and you know, the foundation a lot of times, depending on which foundation it is, has a big picture view of things. But here, the Northwest State Foundation seems to have that individual view. You know the help that you're providing to these students as they come up to you. You know some of the stories and you know some of the people, and you can relate on an individual basis with them.
Yeah, and you know, we're all from a small community in this area, and when you go and you look at some of the people that have the opportunity of getting these scholarships, they're your neighbors. And so you know some of the families, and you know that giving back means so much to them. We do, every year, we have a scholarship awards banquet, and what it allows us to do is not only give out the scholarships and recognize those students, but those students have an opportunity to meet the donors that are willing to invest in their studies and their career. So that really shows and solidifies the true meaning of what we're trying to do.
Introduce yourself, sir.
Sure. Tom Stuckey, president at Northwest State Community College.
Dr. Stuckey, as we look at the night that we are in the middle of now with the Green Carpet event and the Foundation's efforts, we were talking with Peter Beck earlier, the effort that the Foundation puts forth year-round to assist those individuals who are hitting the hallways here at Northwest State, it's an unbelievable process.
It is. And one of the things I'm going to talk about tonight in my welcome is that $409,000 in scholarships was given out to roughly 230 students. 10 years ago, it was $32,000. What a growth in one decade.
And it's really a wave that spreads out throughout the entire area. That money makes a big impact right away, but then as you spread it out over the years, it really improves on itself again and again and again.
That's exactly right. Those graduates then are able to earn more, their family, the economy, Northwest Ohio benefits. 80% of our graduates stay and work in Northwest Ohio. There are very few colleges and universities that say that, how important Northwest State is to the community and how proud we are to be the community college.
And I think it's very important, too, to remember that these are individuals that have families or are coming out of schools and furthering themselves, or who have maybe been in a position at a company for a long time and they're looking to move up or better themselves. And it's the individual stories that really grab you by the heart.
It is. You know, we are all individuals, and collectively it's easy to lose track of that. But, you know, you're helping each one of those persons, and that is so important, Joel.
And when you look at it, too, from the Northwest State side, the staff that assists these folks every single day, some of them are so vital to that effort that these individuals are going through in chasing their education that we couldn't do it without them.
That's exactly right. People often say, wow, that's a great college. And I'm thinking it's a great college because we have great people. And what else can you say? Great students, great faculty, great staff, and community supporters.
That's the next point, too. We're going to have a college full of people in here in just a little while, and these people deeply care about the things that are going on here at Northwest State and the impacts that are being made, and that's something that's pretty special as well.
It is. And, you know, I really, as a president, have felt blessed by the care and the provisions that the community has made for their college.
Another special guest with us. Introduce yourself.
Special guest.
Special guest.
Jim Bellamy, Marketing and PR at Northwest State.
Jim, let's talk Northwest State and its impact on Northwest Ohio. There are so many different programs helping so many different students here of all ages, all walks of life. It's an amazing facility doing amazing job for amazing people.
Yeah, 68 degree and certificate programs, so there are a lot of different avenues for people to not only begin their education but continue their education. And with an average student age of about 28, 29 years old, you get an incredible mix of students. The traditional age, just out of high school, 18, 19, 20 years old. You also get people who are 35, 40 years old on campus too. The really cool thing is the cross-generation learning that goes on between the 18, 19-year-old student and the 35, 40-year-old student. They get experiences that they can share, points of view that maybe the other one didn't have going into the education part. And I think the fact that the average age is 28, 29, it really does open the doors for students to feel more comfortable, especially if they're coming back or if they're starting for the first time a little bit later in life. There are so many opportunities, and education is a real game changer and a life changer. So we can't encourage people enough to come out and check us out and explore the opportunities that are available.
We had graduation out here recently, and you know, in hearing the numbers and seeing the students walk across the stage, receive their diplomas, you know, we had a couple of students who have graduated with an associate's before they've even graduated from high school. We had some who were getting bachelor's degrees in association with work here at Northwest State. There are so many different levels. There's so many different things. I guess we just encourage people to ask, how can Northwest State be a part of my educational needs if people are really thinking that way?
And the incredible thing is with College Credit Plus, the program starts with 7th grade. And, you know, it gives you the opportunity to earn dual credit with your middle school, your high school, and also college credit, which you can then apply toward an associate's degree. You mentioned 2 students from this past graduating class with spring commencement finished with their associate degree before they received their high school diploma, which is amazing. And my hat's off to all students who are taking College Credit Plus classes. And what that does, Joel, is that really opens the door for those students. They become familiar with and comfortable with the college atmosphere, because that's one of the things that is a very daunting task for an 18, 19-year-old, especially if they're moving away going to college for the first time. This gives them an opportunity to transition into college at kind of a slower pace, at their pace, get a quality education at a tremendous credit hour rate, and without sacrificing the quality. I mean, it is top quality education at a tremendous price, but it also allows them to accumulate those credits, and they are well on their way, in some cases halfway to, all the way to earning an associate degree before they even complete high school. Transition those into extending your time at Northwest State, get that associate degree, and if you're looking for a bachelor's or a master's, we want to help you with that. Get your general education classes here, save a ton of money, stay at home, transfer to any Ohio college, university, go in as a junior level student and still have a great foundation for an education, and go ahead and get that bachelor's or that master's degree.
And another facet out here at Northwest State too are the number of certification programs, programs that are aimed at a certain trade or improving a certain skill set, or you may not be going for an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree or anything like that, but you need to improve your day-to-day operations in your particular company or something you're aiming to go into. There are so many, if you haven't looked at Northwest State lately, there are so many different programs that can help you on your day-to-day basis without chasing an associate's or a bachelor's.
And that's a big part of the credit that goes to the staff here at Northwest State, is we work actively with the employers throughout our 6-county service area, and we learn what their current and future needs are, so we shape our curriculum and our programs based on that. You're absolutely right. Their certificate programs in some cases take less than a year to complete, and they get you well on your way towards the raise or the promotion that you were looking for, and help kind of break that glass ceiling in terms of skill level and education. It doesn't always take the 2 years for an associate degree for you to get the skills and hands-on training and education that you need to get that promotion. They talk about the silver tsunami of all the skilled workers that are going to be retiring in the next few years. Well, that means there are opportunities for tremendous jobs for people, and we have the training and the skills and the education necessary for people to go grab those jobs, get those promotions. So Northwest State is a vital piece of that, but it's a vital piece because we continue to actively engage the employers throughout our coverage area to learn what their needs are and make sure that our curriculum addresses those needs.
What's the first step for somebody looking for some more information on Northwest State?
Well, the beauty is that application is completely free. So you can go to northweststate.edu or call the admissions office at 419-267-1320, and you can get started that way. Get the application done, come in and talk with admissions, talk with an advisor, figure out what you want to do career-wise and what education you need, whether it's a short-term certificate program or a 2-year degree, and then get you educated and trained so you can go into that job just ready to take on the world.
If you could introduce yourself, please.
I am Tina Pinkney.
Tina, tell me a little bit about your part in the green carpet event tonight.
I am a student worker. I work for Robin, and I just kind of assisted her, and she asked me to do a speech, and so I whipped it up real quick, and this is my second time, and so hopefully it goes as well as the first.
Share a little of your story with us.
Well, my whole life I kind of have been doing different things. I can't really decide what I want to do, and I'm still trying to decide what I want to do. So I have a little bit of background in everything. I'm a cosmetologist, I'm a certified dog trainer, and right now I'm working on my associate degree for liberal arts. So I'm not really sure where my journey will take me, but hopefully I can figure it out.
You're in the same boat as me. We're not ready to grow up with that. We don't know what we want to be yet, right?
Right.
So what does Northwest State mean to you in that role of always learning, always investigating? What does Northwest State mean to you in that process?
I think Northwest State is a great place because I can come here and figure out what I want to do. I'm not spending, lots of money taking classes and feeling pressured I have to decide. So I feel like here, I can take my time, and I have mentors like Robin I can talk to, and they can kind of guide me I think that would be good for you, and, support me in whatever I want to do.
Is there any message that you'd pass along to someone who might be sitting in the same shoes, a few years younger or even a few years older, who was saying, you know what, there are things out there for me, but I don't quite know what those are yet? Is there any message you'd pass along to them?
There's nothing wrong with taking your time. I just feel like you have to pursue what you want to pursue. I mean, everyone moves at their own pace. Some people, they know from when they're 5 years old what they want to do, and that's what they do, and that's, what they continue doing forever. Some people, they need to have a journey, and they need to go this way, and they need to go that way, and have their own, story and their own path. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what I've learned. I'm a full-time student working to complete my degree in liberal arts. My journey hasn't been an easy one, but it's helped me grow and better myself. While a junior and senior in high school, I took classes at Patrick Henry as well as college classes here at Northwest State. I thought that being able to get some of my college education out of the way while still in high school seemed like a great idea. Not long before graduation, I decided I wanted to do something entirely different and enrolled in cosmetology school. My story isn't just a story about me, but rather a story about my husband, Donald, and I. We are both full-time students at NSCC. We met about 10 years ago and faced struggles from the very beginning. We are an interracial couple and did not immediately get approval from relatives. When we met, I had just completed cosmetology school, and he was enrolled at the University of Toledo. We did not have a plan for our future. We just knew we wanted to be together. We eventually figured out we were completely on our own with hungry bellies and bills to pay. While I worked in a salon, he ended up dropping out of college and taking a promotion in a retail setting so we could make ends meet. We did this for several years, hoping things would change and not being too surprised when they didn't. We decided to make a fresh start for ourselves and moved to Georgia in the summer of 2011. We learned one thing quickly after our move. We hadn't prepared for it financially, and we couldn't continue that way for long. We found employment and did various jobs over the years that followed. The jobs did not create a steady income for us. Some weeks would be great, while others we were scraping by. One day, I realized we had been doing the same things for years and getting the same results. It was time to try something different. Our journey brought us back to Ohio, where my husband enrolled in classes here at Northwest State, and I completed my externship to be a certified dog trainer. Shortly after receiving my certification, I realized while I enjoy working with dogs, it is not something I want to do for the rest of my life. Seeing my husband making strides to obtain his degree got me thinking about what I could do with my life. I decided to re-enroll at Northwest State in 2016. I successfully made it through my first semester back, and I'm proud to say I also managed to make the dean's list. The year of 2017 did not start off well. I thought school was no longer for me. I dropped out of all my classes and decided to take the semester off to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. During the first couple months, I was struggling to find my way and decided to seek medical advice. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and it allowed me to finally understand my journey. With the help of therapy, I am learning how to manage my symptoms, and I stand before you prepared to complete my final year at Northwest State. Our story is not unique. Each of you have your own story and life struggles. Yours may sound slightly different, but we have all been in similar situations, and we've all felt like we must be the only one struggling. I am here to tell you that you don't have to have your life all figured out, but you at least have to move forward. Things will happen in life, and dropping out of school may seem like an easy solution. It is okay if you don't know which direction to take. Since re-enrolling in August of last year, I have changed my major 3 times, but I am still here working on my education. Thank you again to the foundation for the generous donation to my husband and I. We do not know what the future holds, but we do know our education will change our lives.
Here with the representatives of Northstar Bluescope Steel. Introduce yourself, please.
Rich Menzel, Vice President of Human Resources.
Marissa Bergman, Human Resource Team Leader.
Rich, I'll start with you. Let's talk a little bit about the commitment that your company has. And I know one of the main beliefs that your company holds at its core is safety for its workers and the belief in the people that come into your plant every day.
Yeah, we have a company ownership of Bluescope out of Melbourne, Australia, and they've just had a tremendous safety culture, and that's really helped us in our safety journey. We spend all of our time really trying to make sure our employees understand that safety is way more important than how fast we can operate, and it's a message that we have to give every day.
And I think that goes to the core that you understand that, Marissa, your people are really at the center of the things that you do.
Oh, definitely. We have a community relations team at Northstar Bluescope Steel that we established many years ago, back pretty much when we broke ground 22 years ago. And those dedicated team members have always gone out into the community and they've done their volunteer service. They contribute in so many ways, especially to the Fulton County area. We take a lot of pride in trying to give back to the citizens and the community because the community welcomed us in, and it's just so appreciative. So we want to do whatever we can to help them out, especially the schools, which I think is very important.
I've seen some of the pictures with some of the kids in the communities, your workers with them, and it's not only fun for the kids, but it's fun for your folks as well.
Yeah, we just love engaging the students. We've had a wetland celebration for 18 years now with the Delta 5th and 6th graders, and it's just a great opportunity for them to come out to our plant site where we have a wetlands, and we have them rotate through 10 stations, and they learn about water and the environment. They learn that the stuff coming out of our plant is steam and not smoke and other kind of things. So it just helps us build a great connection with the community.
And there seems, Marissa, to be with times changing and people moving forward, manufacturing moving forward, that manufacturing is not something that they may have thought of with their great-grandfathers or their grandfathers. It's a wonderful place to work. It's a wonderful place to be. The company takes it seriously that it's going to be a clean, great environment for people to come in and work, and I think these kids believe in that too.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think manufacturing's never going away, and that's kind of like our quest right now. We're trying to go into the schools right now, bring them to Northstar Bluescope Steel, where they get tours of the steel industry to make them understand that, listen, there's other things that you can go into once you graduate from high school. And it's probably one of my biggest, it just gives me chills thinking about it. But when we're bringing these students in and they just see this massive steel facility that, we can keep them safe, but also we can bring them in, give them, growth, opportunity for leadership, skilled trades that is never going away also, but also to, reimburse them for college education if they think about doing that down the road. So we take a lot of pride in that also.
Our Making a Difference Award winners tonight, we begin with our first winner of the Making a Difference Award tonight, and that is our business of the evening, Northstar Bluescope Steel. Established in 1995 in Delta, it's a joint venture between Bluescope Steel in Melbourne, Australia, and Cargill Incorporated in Minneapolis, Minnesota. In a short period of time, Northstar Bluescope Steel employees have achieved some remarkable success, including going over 3 years without a lost time injury and winning the prestigious Governor's Excellence Award for Workers' Compensation and Safety. These achievements are proof positive of the company's devoted commitment to safety and excellence. They also invest in the long-term success of their employees, encouraging them to continue their education with partnerships at Northwest State and other institutions of higher education. Northstar Bluescope Steel works closely with the Delta and Fulton County community to be a good neighbor and employer, supporting numerous organizations and events through their community relations team. Northstar Bluescope Steel represented tonight by Rich Menzel.
You don't normally see a steel mill out in the country, and you want to make sure that you are included in the community. So I think this is the best way we can do it.
Our mission is to be the preferred steel supplier in this country by being recognized as a benchmark for safety, quality, on-time delivery, and service, which are the cornerstones of our company.
Northstar Steel is a really important company in Fulton County. The way I see it, they deserve the award because of the leadership that they promote throughout not only Fulton County, but throughout Northwest Ohio.
We take a look at every single one of our 380 employees as a $1 million investment. So when we hire them, we spend a lot of time. We make sure that all of our employees have what we call very good soft skills. Everybody is contributing and determining what needs to be done every day versus having someone tell you what to do.
The only thing that keeps me awake at night is the safety of our employees and our contractors. Their safety is more than a priority for us. Their safety is a value that comes before anything else. It comes before production and it comes before profits.
At one time we had gone 4.5 years without a lost time injury. Right now we're sitting at 2.5 years. Within the steel industry, we are the benchmark.
Over the past 10 years, we've contributed 275 organizations, that be nonprofit, it could be fundraisers, either or. We're trying to make sure we spread the wealth from Northstar Bluescope Steel out to the community.
It's really great to see how the employees here care so much about the people that they work with and the people in the community.
They provide so much financial support to a lot of our member nonprofit organizations. We have the Open Door of Delta, that is a nonprofit that provides assistance to those in need, as well as our local food pantry, the Delta Outreach.
We owe what we are to the community. The community has supported Northstar Bluescope for over 20 years now, and we are committed to always be an example of being a great employer and a supporter of the lives and goals of the people that make this community as special as it is.
It's not just the financial support that they provide, but they actually are physically, hands-on involved in our community. They come out and help with things like stringing Christmas lights on the trees or running wires downtown so we can have a sound system throughout downtown.
Every other year we have the 5th and 6th graders come out to our wetlands. We established the wetlands when we built the facility, and it's about 7.5 acres. It's really just to teach all the students about the environment and how important it is that, some people think of the steel mill, that we spend a lot of time thinking about the environment and how we can make it better every day.
From a regional perspective, my colleagues in economic development talk about the importance that Northstar brings to the table for economic development projects because of the fact that they're so willing to lead efforts to help attract companies here and to help other businesses that are either customers or suppliers.
I think most community members would probably say, had we not had Northstar as a part of our community, there is so many programs that we probably wouldn't have.
We're trying to make sure that we get involved as much as we can to show that, it's a privilege to be here as an industry here in Delta, Ohio. So I think what's really important, my name's Marissa Bergman, and I've worked for Northstar Bluescope Steel for 16 years, and I'm the human resource team leader in the area. And I think what's really important here is to recognize my team behind me, that these are the individuals that contribute to the citizens in the community of Northstar Bluescope Steel. And it wouldn't be possible without this team. And it's just not me. I'm a facilitator. They're the ones that come up with ideas. They're the ones that do the community service. They're the ones that volunteer for us, for Northstar Bluescope Steel. I think 22 years ago, we broke ground in Delta, Ohio as a facility, and we thought it was really important to give back to our citizens in our community in the area. And that goes for Delta, but also to Fulton County area. And we try our best to do it even in Henry County, Williams County. But we make an extra effort to make sure, too, even with our team members that work at Northstar Bluescope Steel, to make sure that we're helping out with the things that they're involved in, too, in their communities, in the surrounding areas. We're very honored to accept this award. It's one of those things where we didn't expect this. This is just something that I believe truly in my heart that Northstar Bluescope Steel believes that it's very important to develop relationships and friendships and family in the community, because it is a family, and you want to make sure that the people that surround you you're able to take care of. So from that, I think has made us so successful in what we do. And from a recruitment standpoint and a community and what we offer to the citizens, they've always been there. In the community, they've always been there for us too. So this is an award we did not expect. It's just something that we truly take to our heart, and in our culture at Northstar Bluescope Steel is that we need to give back. And I think that's the most important thing. We're in this area in this acreage of land out in the middle of a country field. And mind you, I was born and raised in Swanton, so don't say anything. But we just feel like it's really important to give back to the community. And this is an honor, but it's not something we would ever have thought we would have been awarded. So thank you very much. And my team is what makes Northstar Bluescope Steel successful with that and giving back. So thank you.
Introduce yourself, please.
I'm Katie Kramer. I'm the executive director at Sarah's Friends.
Kate, if you could explain to us a little bit about what Sarah's Friends is.
Sarah's Friends is a nonprofit organization in Williams County that helps crime victims.
We know we talk so much in the media, in our daily lives, about the effects that some of these things have not only on families but individual kids as well. And your work gets to the core of that, helping those people that need those services and those hands up more than anything?
We do. We partner a lot with victim assistance. We like to say they're step one in the process, in that initial crisis, and then we carry over and do the long-term assessment and care. We kind of handhold them through the system and just that whole process of healing. And our mission is to make sure that they're healing emotionally, physically, and spiritually, and we walk them through that whole process.
I imagine as you go through your day-to-day work with the folks that need your help, probably the one thing that maybe you value most is knowing that these folks might not have help anywhere else. They might not be getting the assistance that they need without people who care for them, not only in your organization, but throughout Williams County and Northwest Ohio.
Absolutely, and I don't want to take a lot of the credit because honestly, you don't choose to be a victim, but you do choose to be a survivor, and it's a day-to-day process that they have to take on their own, and I'm just blessed to be able to help them through that and kind of watch them make their own transition by giving them those services.
It's a deep passion, isn't it, to be able to invest yourself, invest everything around you into helping the people that so desperately need it.
Absolutely. I've always had a heart for helping people, and we get to be on the better end of the deal, so to speak. So to watch that journey is very humbling, just to be a part of that and to be able to witness that.
Our second award tonight is for our organization this evening, and our organization that is being honored is Sarah's Friends. Sarah's Friends is a safe haven for victims of crimes such as domestic violence, child abuse, physical abuse, and more. Founded in 1991, Sarah's Friends serves these victims through support and intervention, helping them get back on their feet and lead normal, productive lives. All services are free and confidential for the victims. On average, at one time, Sarah's Friends assist 35 families simultaneously. The organization offers ongoing safety planning for victims both in and out of abusive situations. Sarah's Friends also provides public education programs for civic organizations, churches, and industries throughout Williams County. The education component is vital to reducing future crime rates and preventing victimization, particularly in younger people. Sarah's Friends.
Sarah's Friends have been continually supportive through this difficult time. Sarah's Friends showed me that there is hope. I don't know where I would be without their assistance.
So our mission here at Sarah's Friends is to assist victims of crime, particularly victims of domestic violence and sexual assault, to heal from that traumatic experience, physically, emotionally, and spiritually.
Physical healing is mainly due to where they're physically at, so our housing programs play into that. We have transitional housing, which is more long-term for economic stability building. Emotionally, we have support groups. Right now is a monthly women's-only support group, but it's offered to all crime victims, not just domestic violence. That really helps with the emotional growth and healing when they can rely on each other and other people's stories. And spiritually, it's giving them resources to different churches, or to me that kind of ties into the emotional a little bit more too, because everybody's spirituality is different. It's not always a religious based, so just to give them meditation when they're stressed. A lot of anxiety comes with trauma.
I think my first involvement was probably about 10 years ago. And I got to know what the organization was about. You know, they label it organization or agency, but I've learned that it's a true testament to its new moniker, Sarah's Friends. They really are friends. They're a shoulder to lean on with a topic that's not easy for a lot of people to talk about, and yet they step to the forefront and help some well-deserving people.
Most recently, I think our biggest project has been transitional housing, so actually providing apartment space to individuals who need to get out of either a dangerous or abusive situation, or who have been victims of crime and do not have the resources to put a down payment on an apartment, or whatever resources they might be lacking in order to establish stable housing for themselves.
They can kind of leave their mark on Sarah's Friends. And we came up with these butterflies once we saw them, because they're 3D, and we thought that would be a very pretty and unique feature, and also because we can have clients write messages, inspiring other ones that come through. This one says believe, and things like that. And that way, again, it marks their journey with us and inspires others in the future.
It's really a powerful symbol. It really is. And it's really what it's all about, because I think When somebody comes in, there have always been people in front of them, and I think they can see that there is hope. And I think that's what that all symbolizes too. It's like, well, that person in front of me was in troubled times and found that new beginning. Here's me, I found that new beginning, and then it's pass it on from there.
We at Sarah's Friends can provide services to a victim whether or not she or he has reported the crime. And we can provide long-term services. So even if the court process is completed or there weren't any charges filed, we will continue to provide services to victims of crime.
It averages out. Last year, in 2016, we served 220 individuals. So 94 were adults and the rest were children.
I think the good Lord puts us on this earth to do good, and this is one that we can really do for somebody who's in need. It's both women and men, and especially children. All of my causes, the common denominator is children. And when they're in a bad situation, we're here to lift them up. And that's my main reason for getting involved. And yet through the process, I've gotten to meet some of these victims. And I don't like to use the term victims. I mean, they come in as victims, but when you see the beginning and the end result to what Sarah's Friends can do, they put the twinkle back in their eye, and you took eyes that may have been dead and you bring them to life.
I think we provide a much needed service to the community that if it wasn't here, I'm not sure what those individuals would do in terms of finding safety and healing for themselves.
In a perfect world, we wouldn't have any victims whatsoever. We don't live in a perfect world, so that's why I thank God we have Sarah and Friends.
It's not easy. It's very difficult, but Sarah's Friends helps you through different stages of coping with any type of abuse. Sarah's Friends can connect you with different needs or services to help you along with your healing process.
I first want to thank the foundation. It's a completely humbling honor to even be selected, or nominated, let alone selected. So for us, it's especially at this time where we just went through a rebranding process, it's amazing to be given the opportunity to come out and share what we do with everyone. So thank you for the foundation. I also want to take this time to thank our generous community. We are very fortunate to have a lot of community support from individuals up to businesses, and without those funds, we wouldn't be able to have the programs that we do. So it's very important for me to thank you guys. As Rick kind of touched on in the video, clients don't choose to be victims, but they do choose to be survivors. So we are very fortunate to have programs and services to help them through the process, but I would feel a little bit like a fraud in a way for taking the credit when they make those choices for themselves and we're simply there to help hold their hand through that process. I don't want to ever take that honor away from them when they're the ones that put in the work day after day to continue that journey for themselves. It's an honor, and again, it's a humbling honor to be able to be a participant in that journey, but I really do feel it important to, and I hope my board doesn't mind, that I accept this award on behalf of those that we serve and take our award back to them and share it with them. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Suzanne. I appreciate that.
Introduce yourself, please.
I'm Denise McColley. I'm the judge in the Henry County Domestic Relations and Juvenile Court.
Denise, explain to people the mediation process of what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Well, mediation is one part that happens in court, and that is with our court mediator. And that process has to do with sending people to try to settle their disputes. And they go to mediation, and they attempt to make a settlement. And if they do, then that's entered into the court record pursuant to a judgment entry that we sign.
This is something, the work that you do on a day-to-day basis, something that has been the driving force for you for so long now, and you've seen the impact that it makes for so many years. It's something that is you, isn't it?
Well, mediation is a really important thing of what we do. We started that with a project back in 1998, which we expanded in Northwest Ohio. We started in Henry and Defiance counties. And so it's been a really important thing of what we do. Right now, we've got some other projects that we're working on, too, that's very well established now and kind of runs itself, and we don't have to worry too much about it. What we're doing now that we focused on, a few years ago we were involved with doing a domestic violence project with the Battered Women's Justice Project, and we were able to help develop new screening materials that are being used in other courts to screen for domestic violence in cases. And then after that, we've been working a lot. We are doing special docket courts now with the opioid crisis, so we're working very hard with our abuse, neglect, dependency cases primarily, but also with our delinquency issues, with drug issues too. And those specialized dockets are courts that very intensively work with kids or adults, if it's abuse, neglect, dependency cases, to try to address those drug issues that we're seeing all over the place, unfortunately, now.
There's been so many different waves of different effects, different struggles that people have through the years, but it all comes back to the root that you're trying to get people back to their families, get families back together, help those individuals as much as you can so they can live the lives that they want to live.
Well, that's certainly it. And we really hope that we can get kids back with their parents in these cases. And with regard to the delinquent youth, we hope that they can live a productive life in their families and not have to be outside of their families. So that's a really important thing. And with regard to our domestic violence projects and so forth, we want people to be safe and secure, healthy, and not be fearful when they live in their families.
And now to recognize our individual this evening, Denise Herrmann McColley. Denise has positively impacted individuals and families for well over 30 years in a variety of capacities. As judge of the Henry County Family Court since 2005 and magistrate and private legal practice prior to that appointment, Denise has worked with thousands of individuals to assist in successful dispute resolution. These cases are often highly emotional and challenging, but Denise ensures that all voices are heard and considered in the proceedings, including the voices of the children. Her work has been published in Baldwin's Ohio Practice, Domestic Relations Law, and Family Law Quarterly, and she is internationally recognized for her achievements, regularly presenting at conferences around the globe. As if that weren't enough, Denise McColley tirelessly gives her time and efforts to a variety of community organizations as well. Let's welcome to the stage and to the video screen Denise Herrmann. McColley.
Denise has not only changed lives, she has saved lives over the course of her career. Through the work that she's done, she has thrown people a lifeline, showing them that people care about them, that their lives can be better, and giving them the tools that they need to make their lives better.
And apart from that, she's also been involved in so many other efforts, such as Henry County Hospital Foundation, Humane Society, Ohio State Alumni, all good organizations, all of which takes time, all of which she gives time to ensure that the community has what it needs to function properly, and even more than properly.
Denise is one of the most caring, intelligent, and thoughtful individuals I've ever had the privilege of working with. She has the capacity of identifying an issue, knowing who to go to act as key players in finding a solution to that issue and following it through.
Symphony of Trees involves dozens of committee chairs who are involved with hundreds of volunteers. It takes military precision to organize all of this and put it together, and I think Denise's organizational skills are just tremendous to keep pulling everything together every year to get this fundraiser and raise the funds that support the organizations that we have mentioned.
Denise cares about people stronger than anyone I know. She's a change agent. If she sees that something's not working, she is going to be the person who uses her initiative, her leadership, and her passion to make that change, to make life better for families.
She really shows appreciation to those people on her staff and those people who she works with in a volunteer basis.
Denise is known not just locally, she's known internationally. She has traveled literally all over this country and all over the world speaking about how to interview kids and the impact that services can have on kids and the importance of interventions for children and families.
She's known throughout the state of Ohio. In fact, she's known nationally and to some extent internationally for the work that she's done for children's issues and parents' issues. Mediation, which has now become a common everyday word for people who are going through litigation in Northwestern Ohio, would not have occurred was it not for Denise McColley. And that has now grown to include 6 counties. I can't even begin to imagine how many people have benefited from that mediation program, but it's got to now be, I would say, pushing tens of thousands of people.
But also the thing that really stands out for me with her is she's such a role model to so many attorneys, especially women attorneys. It's really made a difference in how we're able to serve and practice the community, because in her mentoring, it's not just about the law, it's about how to practice the law with compassion and with passion, and to really make a difference for your clients and not just do the job or the legal work, but it's bigger than that. It's life-changing.
There's probably never been anybody more deserving of award when it comes to someone who gives to the community like she does. She gives 110% of herself to this community, especially the legal community in Northwest Ohio and the state of Ohio every day.
But if there were 10,000 arms that could wrap around her and give her a big hug, and 10,000 angels that I already know are looming over her, blessing her for the beautiful work that she is doing in saving lives and making a difference, I wish for, even for a moment, that she could experience those hugs and those angels surrounding her and know what a difference she's made.
Let's welcome to the stage Denise McColley.
Peter's my cousin, so at least I got one of my family members up here with me. Oops. Thank you so much to the foundation for this award. I'm truly humbled by the honor, especially when I look at all the other people who have won it in the past. I want to especially thank Bob Hall. He nominated me for this, which is very, very sweet of him, and I know there are many, many other people that are very deserving. I grew up in a family in which my father in particular set an example of volunteerism, mostly in our church, but also in the community. And as I grew older, I learned from him and my mother and my extended family the importance of volunteering and helping others. And in doing so, I've tried to pass this on to my kids. And as I look around the room tonight, particularly with my tribe over here, I see many people with whom I've worked on different endeavors, task forces, boards, committees, and with some of them I've had the opportunity to sit in a board meeting and to help plan for the future of the community. And with others, I've hosted fundraisers, shared the opportunity to dress as a duck. There's a few of you over there that did that with me. Scooped plastic ducks out of the Maumee River when they hit the bank, and they were pretty muddy. Marched in parades, sat in fair booths, all with the hope of improving our community and with the understanding that it takes all of us. Some people have worked in this with me to improve the court and the way we serve the individuals who appear before us. And some of those that were speaking, they have worked tirelessly also in these endeavors. I want to thank each and every one of you who have been involved in any way in improving Northwest Ohio, whether it's advancing our education, as happens here at Northwest State, or whether it's helping the court system, our hospitals, in our community in any way. It takes every single one of us to continue to work together to change and to address the problems that we see. Finally, and most importantly, I want to thank my husband, Mike, and my children, Patrick and Rob. They put up with me dressing as a duck, and I think one of them even dressed as a duck once also. They helped to scoop things out of the river and they have joined me in so many occasions, and I could not have done it without them. So thank you very much for everything.
Congratulations. You're very deserving.
I think Patrick would dress as a duck right now if we asked him really nice. He was the one? Okay. To dig through, get some pictures of that somewhere. Congratulations to all three of our award-winning groups tonight and our individual Denise as well. And with our closing remarks tonight, let's welcome back Foundation President Peter Back.
Denise, I was very excited when I heard that you were one of the recipients, and even though we are cousins, shirt-tail cousins, but more than that is it's kind of like family because I grew up with the McColleys, and I learned all my bad traits from a couple of them over there, so I would have never been that ornery until we started hanging around together ever since we've been real young, so it was great to see everyone. And yes, these closing remarks, what an evening. I only have 15 pages. No, not really, just 14. But I know it's been a busy evening, and I'll get through this, and then we can gather our gifts and move on. So, but I wanted to start out by thanking everyone for attending this evening's 2017 Green Carpet event. I am very happy to be here tonight on behalf of the Northwest State Community College Foundation, and congratulations to our Making a Difference Award recipients. I would like to thank the many individuals, the college staff, student workers, and volunteers involved in making tonight such a special evening. You all have worked very hard and provided the wonderful donations along with the delicious food. Everything, as always, is outstanding, and you deserve a round of applause. I also would like to thank Empty Canvas for the fun and entertainment they provided. Now, this was written before we ended up buying the painting. So when I said this is, I'm sure this painting that may contribute to, that everyone contributed to create will become a cherished showpiece for some lucky bidder, not knowing that I would be the lucky bidder through my wife, so. Joel Miller, thank you for being the Masters of Ceremony and helping make tonight's event memorable. Thank you very much. Our foundation would like to also thank the individuals and companies that provided the many gifts for our silent auction. Without your generosity and support, this evening would not be possible. There are many reasons for the strength of Northwest State Community College Foundation. It begins with the leadership and the dedication of our foundation director, development director, Robin Wilcox, and continues with our 30-plus board members who are exceedingly generous with their time and wisdom. This dedication ensures that the foundation remains committed to our mission and guiding principles, helping change the lives of many students who attend this great institution. Tonight you heard Tina Pickney share her touching story of where she was in life and where she is today. It is students just like Tina that inspire our foundation to continue to work hard and secure funds so that we may increase educational opportunities. Tina, you have a great future ahead. Keep those dreams, work towards your goals, and success will follow you in all your endeavors. Thank you for speaking tonight. Each year in April, the college and foundation hosts an awards reception that provides an opportunity for students to be recognized for receiving scholarships, as well as providing the opportunity for them to meet the donors responsible for investing in their lives. Tom talked about a record-breaking $409,000 scholarship in funds this year, which supported over 238 students that will continue their education in Northwest State Community College. But the one thing he did not mention is that since 2010, our foundation has provided an astounding $2,173,000 in scholarships. That is tremendous. Please realize that being here tonight in support of Making a Difference recipients, you have also contributed towards providing scholarships. Just last year, this event alone helped raise $60,000. And we thank you for being here this evening and supporting the foundation. Over the past 7 years, I have had the honor to bestow 21 Making a Difference recipients. Tonight, that number increases to 24. Over these years, I have become more and more humbled after hearing the stories and understanding there is countless numbers of kind hearts that reside in Northwest Ohio. We are fortunate that our communities are filled with such good people, organizations, and companies. Just like tonight's 3 recipients who respond to the needs of many in a personal and caring way, all without the expectation of reward or recognition. Tonight we are grateful that we can honor you and thank you. Denise McColley, Bluescope Steel, and Sarah's Friends, on behalf of the Northwest State Community College Foundation Board, we congratulate you, our 2017 Making a Difference Award recipients. The impact that you make in the lives of others is so important and so appreciated. And it is with pleasure that we now can add your names to a growing list of past recipients, and the name of a few of them is Roop Seed, Michael Carpenter, Dental Excellence, Norm Zeiders, Swanton Welding, State Bank, Pamela Weiner, Judge Stephen Bird, Spangler Candy, Erie Solder Company, Henry County Hospital, and Farmers Merchant State Bank. Once again, congratulations, Denise McColley, Northstar, Bluescope Steel, and Sarah's Friends. You truly are honorable, compassionate leaders of our community, and we thank you for making a difference in so many ways for so many people. Good night.